What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today I got another really fun video for you guys. Today's gonna be a super simple video. It's just gonna be me here talking to you guys, overlaying a lot of my drone footage. But today I want to talk to you guys about my drone fleet here. Here I have 4 of my drones in my fleet. And I know it looks like a lot, but each of these drones serves a very crucial purpose in my business as a videographer, as a cinematographer, as a drone pilot. For this video, I'm going to explain to you guys the purpose of each of these drones and why they're in my kit. And hopefully you guys can learn a little bit about what each of these drones do. And maybe it's going to help you guys decide what kind of drones you want to add to your fleet as well. Because obviously as drone pilots, it's really important to have redundancy. It's important to have a lot of drones because when you're getting paid for this, people are expecting you to deliver. They're expecting reliability. So that's why it's so important to have 2 of every drone basically. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, so first I want to talk about the order in which I bought these drones. So firstly, when I first got into drone filmmaking, I started out with the Mavic Air 2 and I really liked that drone. I got really great results out of it. It was really fun, really reliable, but unfortunately it's not the best drone at low light. And honestly, that's my favorite time to film at. I love filming at sunset. I love filming at blue hour. I love doing night shots even. And the Mavic Air 2, the sensor just could not cut it. It has a 1/2-inch sensor. So once that sun goes down and you start trying to push the ISO, the footage is just kind of garbage. It's not really that usable. So that's the main reason why I decided to upgrade to the Mavic III. And right here is the regular Mavic III. This is not the classic. This is not the Cine. This is just the regular good old Mavic III. And actually, this is actually discontinued. This has the 7x telephoto and then the main 4/3 Hasselblad sensor. And I really like this drone. I mean, this is my main workhorse drone. I use this drone for all of my real estate shoots because it's so reliable. It's just so easy to use. And I just love that every time I want it to perform, it always works. It's really important to always carry around a spare set of propellers, but I've crashed this thing a few times, honestly. As you can see, it's pretty beat up, it's pretty worn out, but this thing still flies absolutely amazingly. And honestly, I'm just really used to flying this thing, so this is definitely my go-to rig for doing any paid work, any real estate work, because I know exactly what to expect from it. I already have a really good set of ND filters. I'm really familiar with all the settings. And most importantly, I have really good muscle memory for this drone. Like, I can fly this thing really smoothly. I can do perfectly smooth orbits, really good motion, and get super cinematic shots with this drone. And honestly, this is my favorite drone to date. I love this thing. And second along the line is my Gep RC Cinelog 35. This was about probably like one of the 3rd FPV drones I bought. I started off with the regular like 5-inch, like the Nazgul Evoke drones. I got the Diatone Roma, but the more I flew FPV, the more I realized I wanted a rig that is protected. I wanted a cinewhoop because a lot of the shots I want to get involve flying around people, involve proximity flying, involve hitting a lot of gaps, and these things are literally just made for that. Even though this thing is pretty loud, it is really powerful, this thing is so awesome for getting really sick shots outside, in the forest, in really large areas, anywhere where there's like a lot of space. This thing excels so much, and this drone is kind of what got me really to fall in love with cinewhoops. Although I do kind of like flying 5 inches, they're just kind of like dangerous. They're a little bit overpowered, and I'm not really the type of pilot that does a lot of tricks. I do like doing freestyle, but you guys know me, I'm all about the shots. I'm all about cinematic shots. So that's why I absolutely fell in love with cinewhoops. And this was a really good starter because this is actually my 2nd Cinelog 35, maybe 3rd, because the first 1 or 2 I broke. And I really became familiar with how this drone works. It's really easy to replace the motors. It's really easy to work on. And yeah, I just became really familiar with this drone and I just have no complaints. It's really reliable. It flies like a 5-inch and you could put on a full-size GoPro Hero 11. And I mean, you can get absolutely amazing shots. A lot of the FPV shots you guys seen on this channel already have been using this rig because, as you guys know, I haven't really learned how to decase a GoPro yet. So that's why this is my go-to rig for flying with a full-size GoPro. The only downsides about this drone is that it is extremely loud, and also it's not the best for flying super close proximity. For example, I do not want to use this drone for flying indoors. It's just a little bit hard to control. It's a little bit big, very noisy, very powerful. And yeah, an overall really awesome drone, really great starter drone if you're just starting to get into FPV. Alright guys, so the 3rd drone on this list in the order of which I bought them is the Mavic III Pro here. And you guys might be wondering, why did I purchase a Mavic III Pro when I already have a perfectly working fine regular Mavic III? And the answer to that is because I'm at the point in my career now where I'm starting to get a lot of drone jobs. I feel like right now, everything is really starting to come together. I've been doing this for about 3 years now, but this year things are really starting to take off. I finally got a full-time job doing real estate, videography, filmmaking. I do photos. I have a house, at least one house or two houses to do every day. So I use this thing all the time. And in addition to that, I'm also starting to get contacted by a lot of people just doing freelance gigs. Like a ton of people have been messaging me to do music videos, doing corporate jobs. And just today, actually, I got contacted to do a drone job all the way up in Oregon, which is awesome because I'm charging my full day rate and I'm gonna be able to fly out to Oregon, all my expenses covered, hotel, flights, food, everything, just to fly these drones and get shots in Oregon. So that's really awesome. And that's why I really wanted to get another drone as a backup, because when people are paying you all this money and all this effort to do these drone jobs, you don't want to show up with just one drone. Although it is possible to just get the job done with this, imagine if something goes wrong with this. Let's say I do crash, or maybe there's just an unexpected malfunction, or maybe just something happens, because these things are flying machines. There's always something prone to error. There's always that risk of something happening. So that's why it's so important for me to have two Mavic 3s. And I thought, why not just get the new Mavic 3 Pro, because it's basically the same price as this. And now I have those 3 cameras. So that's why I got this. Honestly, I haven't really flown it that much. Like I said, this is my workhorse drone. I use this for all my real estate gigs, but I am really excited to start using this more for those freelance gigs I talked about. All right, guys, so the 4th drone on the list in the order of which I bought/built them is my new 2.5-inch cinewhoop. And I have a bunch of videos about this drone already, so if you haven't seen them already, go on my channel. I have a ton of information about this drone, but this was my most recent build, and I really like this drone because it's so quiet and it's really good for proximity flying. It's designed to carry a naked GoPro, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm starting to do a bunch of real estate shoots, and actually a lot of the properties are super huge. I live in the East Bay area, so some of these houses are in Lafayette, Alamo, Danville, and there's some really big properties. So I really want to get better at FPV so I can start offering cinewhoop's FPV footage. I think it's a really good idea to have a combination of both traditional Mavic type drones, but also FPV drones. Because in the industry right now, I'm noticing people still have a really large demand for these regular cinematic, like regular helicopter, those smooth orbits, really smooth dolly shots up in the air. There's still a huge demand for those types of shots. And that's why I love these drones, because I can still show up on set, deliver that type of footage, but then I can also bring these FPV drones and also start offering FPV. So that's why I love filmmakers and directors so much, because they're really creative people. They're usually really open to ideas. They really want to hear what you have to say as a drone pilot, as an aerial cinematographer. So that's why I love having all these different drones on my kit. Because even though I was originally hired to get just traditional Mavic type shots at the water park, I asked the director the day before if I could bring my FPV. And although he's not really familiar with my work as an FPV pilot, he knows that I'm a really good pilot, and he's also really familiar with the potential of FPV. So he was really excited about the shots I could get. And yeah, so basically when we were on set, after I got the regular Mavic shots, I whipped out the FPV and I started flying around the water park with the GoPro Hero 11 on my Cinelog 35. And I got some really awesome shots, and the director was so happy with the results. Literally the next day he called me saying like, oh my God, Lucian, those shots were so sick, man. Like, dude, I got to get you more shots doing FPV stuff. And yeah, it was just really awesome because I could, you know, just show up with this drone, just deliver, get paid. But as an FPV pilot, as a drone pilot, it's really cool to kind of like spread the word and show people the potential of these drones. So that's why I love having all these different variety of drones in my kit, because all these drones have a different job. Although this drone would be really awesome to fly at the water park, it's not really optimized for flying a full-size GoPro. That's why I brought this guy, because it's really good with carrying a pretty heavy camera, GoPro Hero 11, full size, and I was really impressed with results. I threw it in real steady after, and it was so smooth. The exposure is really good. I used the proper ND filter, and yeah, it was just a really good time there, and it was just so much fun. So I'd really suggest to you guys that when you're doing these shots, when you're doing these shoots as a drone pilot, kind of offer new things to them. Like, of course, you could just be comfortable and just do your Mavic stuff and go home. But if you're also into FPV, you know, reach out to people and kind of offer these new types of shots to people, because people are really not that familiar with FPV yet. I know for us as pilots, we see FPV all the time on YouTube, on Instagram. because the algorithm is geared towards us. But to the average person, they don't even really know that these exist. They don't really know the potential of these. So as drone pilots, as FPV pilots, as aerial cinematographers, it's really our job to spread the word and show directors, show other filmmakers the kind of shots we can get with these drones, because it's gonna be better for everyone. We can all make more money, we can all have more fun. So that's why I love having all these different various drones in my kit. All right guys, so now that we got the drones out of the way, I kind of want to do some talking about how you guys can get some more jobs doing drone stuff. Like, of course, having all these drones are cool, it's fun, but I know you guys on this channel, you guys like filmmaking and you guys want to make some money out of drones, and I do have a few tips for you guys in this department. So I think it's really important that you guys have a very strong portfolio, and in addition, you also have a very strong social media presence. I started off just on Instagram, just posting a bunch of my drone videos on Instagram. I posted them on Vimeo, all that good stuff, and now obviously I'm on YouTube, and I'm really starting to find that people are really starting to hire me more because of my social media presence. I strongly believe that if you don't show people your work, if you don't showcase it, if you're not posting online, no one's gonna know about you, no one's gonna hire you, no one's just gonna magically stumble upon your website and hire you as a drone pilot. It's really important to always be kind of posting stories, show people what you're up to, show people your work, show people behind the scenes, start a YouTube channel, start talking about drones, start giving tutorials, because the more you do this, the more the algorithm is literally going to reach more people. Like, starting out, it was kind of hard for me to kind of grow my Instagram, grow my YouTube, but you just really have to be persistent, really just be consistent, and just try to film as much as you can. I know with the Mavic stuff, I have kind of slowed down on the Mavic content because I do really enjoy flying FPV much more, but obviously my Mavic videos get a lot more views, but honestly, it really doesn't matter, because as long as you're posting stuff that you're proud of, that you enjoy doing, people will also kind of gravitate towards it. I know it's going to sound kind of cliche, but the law of attraction is really true. Like, these past 3 years, it was kind of a struggle for me. I started off doing weddings, I started doing a bunch of random corporate jobs. I wasn't working that much, but I really stuck with it. I really believed in myself. I really continued practicing my drones. I continued my YouTube, continued posting on Instagram, continued to reach out to people, continuing to apply to jobs. And here I am today, where I'm working full-time as a real estate filmmaker. And in addition, I'm also getting a ton of these freelance jobs. So right now I'm at a really good place because I'm not really tied down to anything. Like, obviously I work full-time doing this real estate work for this guy I met, but in addition, I can also pick up other jobs, because for the real estate stuff, I'm technically a contractor. I'm not a full-time employee with benefits. I'm a contractor, which is awesome because now I can pick up other jobs. I can do music videos, I can do corporate gigs, I can fly to Oregon to do this really sick job in a few weeks. So that's why it's really awesome being a freelancer. I know it is a pretty daunting task. It is kind of hard to start out, but you really just have to believe in yourself and really just try to work on your skills. I think at the end, all it comes down to is your skills as a drone pilot, but also your skills as a businessman, your ability to reach out to people, your ability to network, because I think that's huge. I feel like it's only like about 30 to 40% your drone skills, and then 60 to 70% your networking, your business skills, because if you're really good at drones, but you don't post anything, you don't talk to anyone, no one's gonna find you, no one's gonna hire you, people might not really enjoy working with you. So that's why it's so important to focus on your people skills, focus on your business skills, because when you're on set, when I'm at these real estate gigs, I'm always networking with people, showing people my reel, getting people to follow me on Instagram, telling people about my YouTube channel, because people will naturally gravitate towards that. Because when people see like, oh wow, this guy has a drone channel on YouTube, this guy has a ton of sick clips on Instagram, they're going to be way more likely to contact you for jobs compared to someone that has no social media presence. So I know you guys might be introverts. I know social media is kind of cringe, it's kind of toxic, but at the end of the day, as filmmakers, it's really important that we have a strong social media presence if you want to land more jobs. So that's my 2 cents on getting more work, because lately, like I said, everything's starting to come together now. Everything's feeling really awesome. I'm at a really happy place in life right now. I'm about to move out pretty soon. I'm starting to make a lot more money doing filmmaking, so I'm really happy with myself now, but it took a lot of hard work. This was not easy. I spent so much time doing FPV, practicing Mavic, but everything kind of pays off. So you guys really just have to stay confident, believe in yourself, and just keep working at it, go ham, and really work on your people skills. I think that's gonna be really important. So hope you guys found this video useful. I know it's kind of a short video and I know I'm just here talking, but I want to do more kind of content like this, kind of showing you guys where I'm at in life, giving you guys some more tips, talking to you guys about my drones and stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to hit like, hit subscribe. I'm almost at 1K now. I really need your guys' help. So thank you guys so much. And also be sure to follow me on Instagram at Low Season Visuals. You guys can send me a message there if you have any questions. I'm always happy to talk to you guys. Reach out to me if you guys have any questions. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.